sight tonight. We are so excited to be back here on Friday night. We got the house full of the crew in the house tonight. Let's hear from the house tonight. All right, good. Let me get ready to get started. We also want to welcome all of our replay viewers. We thank you so much for going back and taking a look later on. You can do that with even our broadcast tonight. We want you to give us some hearts. Let us know that you're with us. We even have a call-in number, which our co-host Ari will share with you later if you want to join in the conversation. But just let us know that you like us, that you're with us. Give us some hearts so we can record that. But we thank you for joining us tonight. So at this time, we're going to get down to our favorite segment, What's Up With That? So I'm going to throw it over to our co-host Ari. Let's show some love for Ari as we do our What's Up With That tonight.
This is What's Up With That. It's our current events segment where we kind of talk about, not kind of, but we do. We talk about current events and how they relate to us morally in our lives, yada yada. So if you have any comments or concerns, I would love it. Please. You see this little number here? Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, of course. Okay. This number here that I never say because I never get right. You can call and or text, I guess, if you feel like it. And share your comments and concerns. We'd really love that. Also, tap your screen on your phone. They're like beautiful little colorful hearts that pop up. Just do it, okay? Thanks. Okay.
Many more hundreds of eggs are fertilized than become humans. Eggs get fertilized, and by that I mean sperm get accepted by ova a lot. But that's not all you need. You have to attach to the uterine wall, the inside of a womb, a woman's womb. But if you're going to hold that as a standard, that is to say, if you're going to say, when an egg is fertilized, it's therefore all has the same rights as an individual. Then whom are you going to sue? Whom are you going to imprison? Every woman who's had a fertilized egg pass through her? Every guy whose sperm has fertilized an egg and then it didn't become a human? Have all these people failed you? It's just a reflection of a deep scientific lack of understanding. And you literally, or you apparently literally don't know what you're talking about. And so when it comes to women's rights with respect to their reproduction, I think we should leave it to women. It's really, you cannot help but notice. I mean, I'm not the first guy to observe this. You have a lot of men of European descent passing these extraordinary laws based on ignorance. Sorry, guys. I know it was written, or your interpretation of a book written 5,000 years ago, 50 centuries ago, makes you think that when a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, they always have a baby. That's wrong. And so to pass laws based on that belief is inconsistent with nature. I mean, it's hard not to get frustrated with this, everybody. And I know nobody likes abortion, okay? But you can't tell somebody what to do. I mean, she has rights over this, especially if she doesn't like the guy that got her pregnant. Like, she doesn't want anything to do with your genes. Get over it, especially if she were raped and all this. So it's very frustrating on the outside, on the other side. We have so many more important things to be dealing with. We have so many more problems. To squander resources on this argument based on bad science, on just lack of understanding, it's very frustrating. You wouldn't know how big a human egg was if it weren't for microscopes, if it weren't for scientists, medical researchers looking diligently. You wouldn't know the process. You wouldn't have that shot, the famous shot or shots where the sperm are bumping up against the egg. You wouldn't have that without science. So then to claim that you know the next step when you obviously don't is trouble. Let me do that again. At some point, we have to respect the facts. Recommending or insisting on abstinence has been completely ineffective. It's being objective here. Closing abortion clinics, not giving women access to birth control has not been an effective way to lead to healthier societies. I mean, I think we all know that. And I understand that you have deeply held beliefs. And you want to, and it really is ultimately out of respect for people, in this case, your perception of unborn people. I understand that. But I really encourage you to look at the facts. And I know people are now critical of the expression fact-based. But what's wrong with that? So it's really encourage you to not tell women what to do and not pursue these laws that really are in nobody's best interest. Just really be objective about this. We have other problems to solve, everybody. Come on. Let's work together.
Comments, concerns?
Well, I think the overall he was saying that science, because of science, we know specifically how conception is really done, and that really science-based, that is just a fertilized egg. It is not, well, according to scientists, that's not human. That's one aspect. Then he had another one. He has so many out there. But I think with the people, the pro-life people, my thing, I agree with him that you should not tell a woman what to do with her body. There's nobody choice. It's her choice, whether it was bad or good. God give us choices. So you cannot say, someone that's pro-life said no, it's a crime for a woman to do that. It's her choice to do. She should have free choice. And I think people confuse the free choice as like, okay, we for abortion. But I'm for a woman having the right to choose. I got that from that.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I think he had a point as far as we have bigger fish to fry, because there are a lot of people. Okay. I think he had a point when he said us closing down abortion clinics doesn't necessarily produce a healthier society. Because it doesn't actually stop people from having sex and then having unplanned pregnancies with people they might not like. And then you just have babies that they either give up or don't take care of or whatever. Obviously, that does not produce a healthier society. At the same time, I think I agree with Jeannie. Like, I don't support abortion. At the same time, I can't tell you, the next person, what to do. Because I haven't experienced your life, we don't know where you are spiritually, that kind of situation. So, guys, nothing? Nobody?
Back in the day, women would go to these clinics and have these illegal abortions. So, if they're going to try to do that, they're going to go back. People are going to find a way to get rid of it, and it's not going to be a healthy way of doing that.
So, here's my question. I agree that it's the woman's body, but it's not solely her baby. So why doesn't the male, the one that actually determines the sex of the child, why doesn't he have a say?
Go ahead, go! Jump right in, girl.
Well, I personally feel like it's my body. I feel like it's not the man having a child. I mean, yes, he did,
Participate.
Participate. But I just feel like it's my body. It's not my body. It is God's body. It's His temple and all that. But I feel like it's ultimately my choice. If I want to bring this child into this world, it's my vessel. It's, you know what I'm saying?
But it's
I
still,
get it.
it's still his baby too.
Yeah.
So
And you're making a choice for
so
the
you're
baby.
making the decision to kill his baby because it's your body.
Well, and you're making a choice for the baby as well.
Is it a baby? Because he said it's not a baby.
Oh, well, there you go.
He said it's not
a
human.
fertilized egg.
Well, I'm not speaking for the human. for
Talking about the
baby.
science.
I'm not speaking for the baby. I'm speaking for
The male part.
the male, and it's
And the baby.
half. It's half yours. It's half the guys. Now, there are case by case scenarios, but if a guy is here, and he's willing to help, I think that should at least be a conversation. The buck does stop with you because it is your body, but it still is half his baby. I think a conversation still needs to be had as to what can happen going forward, instead of anyone just making a decision. This is just it.
But I don't understand how you can. I am speaking for the baby because the baby is the one that's affected the most. It's being murdered.
Right.
And babies can't speak for themselves. So that's why they rely on consensual, responsible adults to speak and make decisions for them. As to whether or not it is a child, well, that's not a new argument. I mean, evolutionists don't believe that. They never have. They never will. That's why the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply, because Christians do believe that. So it's not just non-Christians that are having abortions. There's Christians that are having abortions as well. There's Christians that are having premarital and meaningless sex and unwanted pregnancies and babies. So if they're not going to stand up and uphold the principles of God, then who is? Because Bill Nye doesn't change anything. That's his view, that's his opinion, and that's not new. Bill Nye didn't just drop on the planet. Bill Nye is really repeating something that's been said a long time ago. So I hear that. I get the point that it's the body, but like Bill Nye would have to admit, you can't have a baby without a man. You can't. So how can you alleviate him out of the decision process of destroying it? You need him to create it, but you don't need him to destroy it. He has no say, no voice. Because if the mother's not going to be a voice for the child, then perhaps the father would. Maybe the father would say, hey, you know what? Have the baby. You don't have nothing to do with it. I'll take full responsibility. Almost like an adoption. And you'll never have to deal with it again.
So
But he doesn't even have that. He doesn't even have the. Who doesn't?
They don't have 9 months of carrying a baby that you don't want just so you can give it away. Like, women are not gonna deal with that.
But they'll murder it instead, and not even give it a chance.
But mine
Because see,
is
at what point does it get to the point where it says we don't care about what you want anymore? Because you created a life now, so the sole decision process is gone.
But my thing is, Gary, where is the men? You make the argument.
I agree.
But where is the men that just
They're
still argue?
They're not even around. They're not even around making the
Wait.
decisions.
Hold up.
What percentage of men do you think would say, you know what, baby? Okay.
What if there's 1%? Is that enough for a life?
That's enough for
Are there men out there? We don't know, but I'm sure there are. Are there men out there that say, I would like to have my child, but I don't have no say in the matter. She aborted it.
Right.
We're assuming that all men are just dogs, and once there's a baby, they're up, they're humped, and they're moved on. And they don't want anything else to do. That's an assumption.
Well, I think that the reason that they leave the choice up to the woman is 9 times out of 10, they're having babies with people who would be deadbeat dads. Either too young, not experienced enough, he was just trying to hit it and quit it.
Do you think that was the intent of the law? Roe versus Wade? Do you think that's what they had in mind, to really create a moral background that says if we don't create this law, there'll be so many men who just won't step up to the plate?
No.
So in order to create a moral standard, let's go ahead and create. Do you really think that was the basis of that law?
No.
To promote morality among men and women? Because if it is, it hasn't worked.
It hasn't. But why do you think they made that? Like, why?
That's the question. That's a great question. I personally think, well, let me tell you why I am for the abortion law as opposed to it not. And it's what Jeannie says. If you take it away, you would lose more lives. Because people would do it anyway. They would do it outside of clinics. They would have going in some back shop or garage somewhere. So I think because of that, they said, what's the lesser of two evils?
Right.
Yes. So for that, I have to go for abortion. The freedom. I'm not for abortion, but the freedom to be able to make that choice as the law allows.
Right.
Yes.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Wanna go?
Wow, that was good.
So I only have 2 videos today because this one is an extreme. The next one is an extremely long one, and I figured we'd talk about it for a long time. So hey guys, if you would like to give us your comments and/or concerns, this is the number here, or you can tap the bottom of your screen and just type a message. We'd like to hear from you. And then also if you tap it, the heart thing, I just like it. Just do it. Okay. Uh-oh. Don't judge, just watch the video.
Crazy Kanye.
So I couldn't upload it onto my presentation, so we'll have to watch it like this.
We send things out on Twitter, and sometimes, like Kim has said, and I'll tell you this also, and I'll tell you this, along with not wanting more children, but Kim has said that...
I'm fine with this practice.
Yeah. That's all you get to do. But Kim has said that there should be a board of directors that goes through your tweets. Like when you have an idea, you should give it to Kim and a bunch of people, and they go, okay, you can tweet that, or no, you cannot tweet that. Do you think you should have a board of directors?
Absolutely not.
No. Everything you tweet, you think have you regretted anything that you tweeted?
Nope.
Nothing. Never. You don't go, maybe I should have thought about that a little longer?
What's the point of thinking?
Sometimes I understand, but sometimes there is a point to thinking. And then you tweeted out that you wanted Mark Zuckerberg to give you $53 million. In hindsight, should that have gone on Facebook?
Yes. I
Yeah.
should have been on Facebook. Now I understand why he didn't hit me back.
Yeah.
I understand that Zuckerberg doesn't use Twitter.
Yeah.
Even though I have had dinner with him and his wife and told him about how I wanted to help the world, and he said he'd help me, and then blah, blah, blah. And like, that's how it feels, though. You know, it's like the pursuit of happiness. Like, it's like you're trying to sell this bone density machine or something. You know, in that movie? I feel that if I had more resources, I could help more people. I have ideas that can make the human race existence within our 100 years better. Period. The paparazzi, whatever perception you have of me, starting with the truth, starting with what everyone's thinking, start there, put some dope with it.
She's not filming it all.
Okay. I'm with you.
Gay is in the building.
Gay is in the building.
Alright, I'm with you on the truth part. When you say put some dope with it, just give me one example. Just get what the idea is, because maybe somebody watching will give you the money.
We're in a renaissance period. We're in a place where people are like multidisciplinary artists, like Steve McQueen that directed 12 Years a Slave. He was considered to just be a photographer, but then he won an Oscar. We're not in a place where people can only have one career, one profession throughout their entire life. So the exact amount of emotion and color palette and sonics and everything that I put into my music, I put them into the shoes. And they worked. You know, people never write, Kanye's pissing everybody off, Kanye gets somebody. They try to position it through the media in some way that I'm like, whatever your friends might say. You know, I saw Kanye, how was he? Did he like what? I care about people. I care about, my dad lived in homeless shelters less than 5 years ago. To find out he's a psych major. My mom was the first black female chair of the English department at Chicago State University. I was raised to do something, to make a difference. To take, you know, I didn't take the Oscars as a joke. It was funny, you know what I'm saying? It was like the moment, like all black, you know, actors can talk about the glass ceilings that we dealt with out in this town. And it's the moment. You get your night. Go ahead. Chris Rock's going to do it. Bam. Talk about how many times You've been blocked from being able to excel. I didn't take it as a joke. It ain't no joke, as Rakim said. It ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke, and I slam it and make sure it's broke. That's what I was raised on, Rakim. Fight
Listen to what he's saying.
Listen to what he's saying.
Expression, hip hop, started out in the park. Everybody trying to charge you. How much you sold? If you playing on radio, are you connecting? Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living that you can name in the same breath as them. Don't tell me about being likable. We got 100 years here. We're one race, the human race, one civilization. We're a blip in the existence of the universe. And we constantly trying to pull each other down, not doing things to help each other. That's my point. It's like I'm shaking talking about, I know it's daytime TV, but I feel that I can make a difference while I'm here. I feel that I can make things better through my skill set. My skills, I'm an artist. 5 years old, art school, PhD, Art Institute of Chicago. I am an artist. I have a condition called synesthesia where I see sounds. I see them. Everything that I sonically make is a painting. I see it. I see the importance. I see the importance and the value of everyone being able to experience a more beautiful life. When I make clothes, it's funny because I'll sit there with Obama and Leo's talking about the environment, and then I'm talking about clothes, and everyone looks at me like, that's not an important issue or something. But I remember going to school, like in 5th grade, and wanting to have a cool outfit. I called the head of Payless. I'm like, I want to work with you. I want to take all this information that I learned from sitting at all these fashion shows and knocking at all these doors and buying all this expensive clothes, and I want to take away bullying. You know, I want to... Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons is the reason why I was able to go so far in music. There was a time when Michael Jackson couldn't get his video on MTV because he was considered to be urban. The Michael Jackson. So I literally have to be Michael Jackson of apparel in order to break open the doors for everyone that will come after I'm gone, after I'm dead, after they call me Wacko Kanye. Isn't that so funny? The people point fingers at the people who have influenced us the most. They talk the most about the people who care the most. I'm sorry, daytime television. I'm sorry for the realness.
The realness.
Oh. She's what?
She's very red.
Yeah, look at her.
Yes, she's very red.
Very red. And uncomfortable. She's so
yeah,
red.
she is. She is.
So uncomfortable. So that's not Ellen. That is just not Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen knows how to
Ellen knows
play, but she can't play it.
But her eyes, it's all in her eyes.
So obviously we're going to talk about this for a little more than 5 minutes, but I'll set the timer anyway. So I said crazy Kanye mainly because a lot of people think he's crazy, obviously. He says a lot of stuff.
He's a brilliant guy.
He's a brilliant man.
Yes.
And I went...
But...
Hold on. I mean, okay, so I went to high school. Definitely I went to high school with one kid in particular. And he kind of in a way, he kind of reminds me of Kanye because he has sort of like this stream of consciousness thing going. So when he says something, to the rest of us, it's probably like, what? Picasso is dead, yes. You know what I mean? Like, okay, but at the same time, when I listened, and when I watched it twice, 3 times now, but 8 minutes of his stream of consciousness, you can piece together what his idea is for, asking for people to invest in him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can see where he might go. You can see that he's a little quirky. He's a little different. You know what I mean? You can see that he's not really crazy.
So was Jobs.
Yeah, he's facetious, you know what I mean? Like when he said, "What's the point of thinking?" Said it with a straight but like almost I might laugh face, you know what I mean? Like I feel like people take offense to him too quickly. You know what I mean? Like they don't take the time to really look at him and be like, what is he trying to tell us? You know what I mean?
He's so passionate about it.
And he is, but people are like, oh, Kanye tweeted this, oh, what'd you say, poor Kim, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, but he's trying to, and part of why I think he acts silly too is just so people can be like, oh, okay, hello, focus on me, I have something to say real quick. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the point of him tweeting like that or acting the way he does. And on top of that, I really think he's silly, y'all. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about what he's saying?
I believe he's narcissistic. Is that the right word? Yeah. Will someone think of themselves bigger than what they are? Mm-hmm. I think he's brilliant, but because of his past history of quirkiness and things that he do, that a lot of people will not accept him and his brilliance. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the thing, it started off with when his mom, I'm gonna go back. I feel when his mom died, that's when everything went.
And it fell apart.
Every which way. And then when he got on stage with Whiter Than White, I love Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. I love her. When he got on stage and did that, then people started to say something is really wrong with him. But he is brilliant. But because of all the things he's done in the past, I just don't feel. I mean, I know I'm listening to him and I understand where he's going. I understand. You just have to be in his world. You have to just dissect where he's going. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people
they don't have the time.
That Negro, and they're not saying Negro, is crazy.
Yeah.
Because of look how he goes in and out, and he goes like this, and he goes in and out. I mean, that doesn't look like somebody.
His beast, though.
Nobody. I mean, really, think about it. A Caucasian person will look at him like.
I'm not getting him.
I feel sorry for Kim.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna say. I mean, I understand where he's going. Mm-hmm. I see how I can analyze it, but his quirkiness, either he's doing some drugs, and drugs can get in that field. Drugs can make you feel like you're on top of the world, that you're thinking. I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know, but his if you take all the sound out and just look at his mannerism. You're like, what's wrong with him?
Well,
what's wrong with him?
Okay, so when he was talking about his condition, which is actually, it's more of a gift than a condition. Right. When he hears pitches, he sees colors, right? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, he might have had perfect pitch, which is different. Like when, I don't know how to explain it, but when he hears pitches, he sees different colors. So when the pitches match up, the colors look pretty and they match up to whatever. So usually when people have those types of conditions, if you will, or gifts, sort of kind of like autism, when they have that peak intelligence in a specific area. I don't know. I don't take him as crazy though. I don't take him as crazy. I think, honestly, if I had time.
Eccentric.
Yeah, that's another adjective.
I would give him the money he wanted, but I'd have to know what he really wants to do with it. No. I have to monitor him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, just like, I have to be more involved. Let me not say monitor. I have to be more involved. But I just want to see where he's going with it. You know what I mean?
You're just curious to see him. You're
curious
to see what he's going to do.
I believe him.
I believe that he has something to do with changing and making our human race better because of his passion. Like, he might seem crazy, but you can seem crazy being so passionate about something. True. And his previous actions, his mom kept him together. So when she died, it was like, oh, she's all Kanye.
He just went.
So he could have been like this from before.
Right.
And his mom was just that.
So now he's just like
natural.
He just has, he's no nobody to reel him. All right, Kanye, come on back.
Yeah.
Because Kim's certainly not
And
going to
Kim,
do
no,
it.
'cause
Kim is not
probably,
going to do it.
no, I'm not judging her. Probably don't understand half the things that he really is saying. So she just like, that's it.
Right.
I support you.
That's most white women do. That's what most white women do.
That's cool.
But I don't think
That's what most white women do. That's true.
They go with the flow.
You
That's
know what?
true.
Honestly, I'd rather him be president than Trump.
Really?
Yes. So Trump, he could become president because he has so much money. He can rule the United States.
The world, really.
Kanye, I believe that Kanye is going to be revered when he's gone, exactly as he said, as a genius.
Yeah.
When he goes, and it's not going to be until he dies.
Yeah.
People are going to call him crazy. People are going to say poor Kim. People are going to say poor North.
Poor and Saint.
You know, poor Saint. Poor West's family. You know, until he dies. And when he dies, everyone's going to look back at this interview and say, wow, he was really speaking. So, listen to what he said. He said, Picasso's dead, Walt Disney's dead, Steve Jobs is dead. You can't name anyone living in the same breath as them. And he's trying to be that. And because he's trying to be that, and because it's like hard to explain, you know, he's being called crazy. All of his ideas are being dismissed because we can't seem to understand it. He ain't saying anything crazy. He didn't say one thing that was crazy. He didn't say one thing that was out of whack. He didn't say one thing that was out of pocket. He said too many things at one time.
Yeah.
But he didn't say anything that was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the one thing that he said that scared me was what? The one thing that scared me was no regrets.
That right there is not.
Well, she said, do you have any regrets about what you tweeted?
He said he has no regrets with any of that. Anything.
But are we supposed
But
to
why should you have regrets?
It's acceptance. Mistakes
Well, if it's
are
a mistake,
you should.
Right.
You should regret
But she didn't ask him that.
Why? Why regret it?
Still.
because it's a mistake.
I regret it though.
But you learn
It
from
made
mistakes,
you.
though.
Your mistake made you who you are today. Why regret that?
Oh,
Well,
wow.
it depends on the consequences of that regret.
But it still made, regardless of the consequence, it made you.
Well, I don't want to be made. No, right. But again, I guess it depends on the context of what you're talking. I don't want to be made at the expense of others.
No, you don't.
If it's an expense of others, then I regret it.
Well, who did he
Well, I'm not talking about specifically. I'm saying that anybody that wants to lead, okay, they have to have a consciousness of regret, a consciousness of penitence, contriteness, because humans make mistakes. And leaders make mistakes. And you can't be a leader if you're not willing. You can't have followers if you're not willing to admit and to acknowledge mistakes. That scares me in a leader because that's borderline dictatorship.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
I think
that's
borderline.
We're only looking at one interview. He's already addressed all of his past mistakes.
Well, we talking about what he's saying.
Well, I'm talking in the context of what he said.
But
I mean, he didn't say that.
Hear me.
No, but he didn't say that.
But
had he said what you're saying, that's a different context.
But hear me.
That's why. Hold on. That's why in this context you have to be very careful about what you say and how you say it, because when you're bringing in new viewers, they're gonna miss all of the backdrop that you're giving.
Which is why I made us watch the whole 8-minute video.
Right.
But now,
But even the whole 8 minutes, I still don't like what he said about that, because I'm not seeing it in its totality.
Everything that he's done wrong, he's apologized for publicly.
But we didn't get that here.
No, listen to me. Before you cut me off, please. Everything that he's done wrong, he's apologized for publicly past. Now, you're saying, by your context, any interview he does, he needs to preface with, I'm sorry for all of my
No,
mistakes.
that's not what I said. That's what you're saying.
Now,
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. So
we have to. You're going to have to put in the context what I'm saying. I'm saying you're taking a snippet of new viewers.
Oh, no, I'm just trying to.
And the new viewers, whenever you want to do what he's saying he wants to do, you have to be conscious about every open presentation that you make. Because as you can see, just by this small synopsis, it can be misread and miscued. So what he should have said to her, or what I would have said to her, is that, no, I don't have any regrets. I've already taken care of all of those publicly. So move on. Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I can
Because
see that.
because there are people who have money that need that.
Right.
Because and let me refer to this. There was a guy I was watching a movie called what's it called? Second Chance, and this black guy was up preaching, and he went before he was kind of doing what Kanye was, and he said he got real passionate. He says, "Keep your blank money. I don't need your money." And he's talking about, "I'm going to do this." So afterwards, they said, "Okay, we will keep our blank money." And he struggled. He really struggled because of the way he prefaced that and he said that. And later he regretted saying that because the very people who wanted to support him withdrew because of what he just said. So what I'm saying is that words have to have accountability. I'm not against what he's saying. I'm with the brother all the way. But the level in which he is propagating, to whom much is given, much more is required. So there's a much more level of consciousness when you say it. That's why all pro athletes are taken into a briefing room when they're drafted. This is how you address the press. This say this, don't say this say this. Because you all know in social media how quickly.
I can agree with you. They've already chopped this up to look a certain kind of way already.
So it's already skewed.
In the first 20 hours, they had chopped it up and because it took me like 3 hours to find the actual video.
Which they do to everybody.
Yeah, they do that to everybody. At the same time, I think we have to be better at reading people as well. And if you look at the first part of his interview, he was being facetious the whole time. He had a little underlying smirk, like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be," you know what I mean? Like, no regrets. Why think? No. Who needs to think? You know what I mean? And I think when he started getting passionate, if he said something in that portion, in that stream of consciousness portion, that would have alarmed, sort of like what you said about the no regrets, then I would kind of be with you. But I feel like with somebody as controversial as Kanye, huh?
He kind of wasn't. He wasn't really serious when he was saying that. He was just being kind of facetious.
He was having banter with Ellen. If you've ever seen people come on with Ellen, they have that kind of one-word banter sometimes. So I just feel like it shouldn't be taken in that
too
way.
serious.
Yeah.
But like you see, like people get different views from that whole clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's brilliant. That's the first thing. I know he's brilliant. But someone is going to take what he said because they're going to take the words. You have to be careful. When you're out in the media like that and you have that image and you influence people, you have to be careful how your words are, even if you're brilliant. You know, Kanye feels that he could say anything. Whatever. But see, listen, he feels that he could say whatever. And he's done in the past. And do whatever. And it's okay. He get a pass. I wouldn't support him. I wouldn't give him a dime.
Based off his past.
Based off that.
I don't think he
That. Because first of all, he's narcissistic. He's so into himself.
Why?
He's all into himself. Okay, now.
He said nothing about himself.
No. He don't have to say it. It's what he do. He believes in himself that much. That's what I'm saying. He got so because what does he need with my money? What does he need with my money?
Well, what's wrong with him believing in that? First off,
first of all, he wants people to believe in his passion. That's the wrong way to get people to believe in his passion.
Why? Because daytime TV can't be that real, right?
Not only daytime. This is being
Charlie Rose comes on at 12 o'clock.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about nobody else but him. After saying that, he is brilliant. I'm not taking anything away from him.
So Will Smith comes on and he says the exact same thing.
We're not talking about Will Smith. We're talking about him.
No.
We're talking about him. We're talking about him.
Hold up, one at a time.
Will Smith comes on because Will Smith talks like not like
no, he does not.
Yeah, he
doesn't act like that. He does not act like that.
Because you're used to it.
No, he doesn't.
You're used to it.
No, he doesn't act like that.
Hold on. Listen. Wait, 1 second. 1 second. When you've seen an elongated, uncut Will Smith interview, they all have these types of moments. It's a stream of consciousness. It's a stream of consciousness. All those clips you see of Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, Shonda Rhimes, Oprah.
Let me tell you, if people talk like that,
If he would talk like that, I wouldn't support him either. If he talked just like that craziness and that and I ain't gonna support that crazy. No, that's what. No, I'm not. Yeah, he is brilliant. But you know what? Everybody can't receive that. You guys receive that, but not everybody. If you're in a public forum and you want to solicit help, nobody's gonna receive. You guys say out of this group.
It's a level of understanding.
I understand this level.
So if they came out.
You mean
no, it wouldn't.
It's like, oh, he's autistic. That's how he is, right?
And he probably is autistic.
He might be.
But
you don't know.
That interview did not want me to give money to him.
Why does the delivery have to be different?
How did his delivery offend you?
It didn't offend me. I just would not support him.
And you would support him for what sole reason? What reason?
Because I believe he don't need my money. I think he really doesn't. He really don't need no money.
Well, the rule when you're rich is that when you're making something, you're you spend your other people's money.
Yeah, you're philanthropic.
Yeah.
Don't none of these artists need your money.
So what was that? He said,
well,
believe in me.
He wasn't asking.
He's okay. Now this is bringing up a past interview again. I study Kanye. I study everybody in the music business.
He studies everybody.
I look at everybody's interview, regardless of who you are. I don't care if you're underground. But anyway, he did a interview with Jimmy Fallon, where he was talking about him trying to be in the fashion world, and people in the fashion world feel like he should be selling his apparel for $10 a pop because he's a celebrity, and nobody in the fashion world takes his ideas seriously. But he's taking the time to invest in fabrics and study fashion, and he took classes and learned about how to make clothes properly and how to do this and how to do that, and people are still looking at him like he's just another black artist. So he needs to sell his stuff at Target or Macy's in the front for $10 a pop. But when he sells shoes for like $300, $400, he's looked at as crazy. But he studied this. So what he's saying is here, support my clothes. Support me as you would support a Tommy Hilfiger. Support me as you would support a Ralph Lauren. Support me as you would support any other white-owned or European-owned clothing company. Why won't you support your own? That's what he's saying. He's not saying he needs your money. He's saying, why won't you support your own?
See, when they do a documentary on Kanye in 30 years, we'll see behind the scenes of how he was a pioneer or whatever, or he was the only one doing what he's doing now in that area. We'll see it. We don't see it right now. We see Kanye's crazy. He tweets crap. You know what I mean? We see all this different stuff that we piece together in the media to get wacko Kanye, like he said. But what we don't see is we don't see his day-to-day. We don't see why he decided, you know what, I'm going to let this rant go on Ellen. Because he's had many interviews on Ellen where he just answers her questions, he plays a game with her, and he's done. You know what I mean?
Why do you think Ellen was so uncomfortable?
I think she was uncomfortable because she prompted that last answer that she gave. She knows how he is. I think she was uncomfortable because she was afraid he might go too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Censorship.
Okay. All right.
Because Ellen liked these kind of things.
Yeah, she didn't have it herself. That's why I was asking. Yeah. She knows how to bring it back. I mean, she knows how to.
I felt like she gave him a chance by asking him, okay, what's your idea?
Yeah.
She didn't have to ask them.
But that's why she's great.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
she's understanding.
Not only that, but because she's also willing to step outside of the box of the norm of what other people can do.
She is outside of the box already.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
On daytime television.
Well, I know, but even to say where most people would ring him in and censor him and make sure they got the cameras and the bleeps ready, she's sitting there like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes. Right. But she knows because of her following and because of what she branded, she can get away with it. The crazy part doesn't really bother me a lot. Let me tell you why it doesn't bother me. I told you what the only thing I would make my eyebrow go up is what he said. But the reason the craziness doesn't bother me is because like he said, some of the greatest achievements of all time have been done by what people perceive as crazy. Howard Hughes, somebody I studied. Howard Hughes was rich. He started Hughes Airlines. Died in his own filth, but all the life he lived, he was just nitpicky clean. He was a clean freak, but he died with fingernails 7 inches long. What they call eccentric. Steve Jobs was quote unquote crazy. Picasso, the people that he named were crazy. Some would consider Malcolm crazy and King crazy for the approaches that they took. And who can you name that's alive in the same breath as Malcolm and King? None. You can't. None. Exactly. So that quirkiness usually creates genius and revolutionary changes, which I don't have a problem with. I just think that sometimes what happens is you get so passionate. And I've done this. I made the mistake. I've been so passionate about stuff. After looking back, I just take a pause and say, okay, I'm not going to change my passion. I'm going to change my calling. Just maybe I can change the delivery a little bit. Perhaps. Especially if I'm trying to target a certain demographic. Now, if I'm not worried about a certain demographic, I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
I don't think Kanye's worried about...
Well, obviously he's not.
Yeah.
Obviously he's not.
I don't think he is.
No.
I think he's probably tried, and it just hasn't worked for him. Like, okay, why do I have to bend and twist and contort myself? I can just say what I gotta say.
Well, but then again, that could be the same reason why he's not achieving what he wants to achieve. Could be.
But somebody is going to understand what.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Somebody's going to be
and
like,
somebody's
yo,
not.
here's 10. I'm gonna need to know what you're doing, but I'm interested. I would give him 10.
TD Jakes said on a video that I saw, she said that leaders or trailblazers, they bear the grunt of all the pain associated with that path.
Yes.
Because they're clearing out the path.
Yes.
They feel all the thorns, they feel all the bristles, and all the scrapes and bruises.
Yes.
And everybody that follows behind just enjoys the leisure of the path that's already been laid. I think he's laying a path.
I'm thinking what Jobs or Gates has said, I'm paraphrasing, if you don't piss a whole bunch of people off along the way, you ain't doing nothing. Great leaders have always been very controversial. But in closing, let me say this. In reading, the trend for leadership and the vision of leadership is changing. There was a time when leadership was about, this was all what leadership was teaching, to buy into your vision. That's changing, partly due because of the millennial revolution that's going on. Now it's not so much buying into the vision of the leader, it's buying into the leader. Mm-hmm. If I like you, I don't care what your vision is. I'm going for it. So now it's become more of a personalized relationship leader that people buy into rather than their vision. There was a time we said, well, let me see what you're doing. Okay, well, here's $1 million. Now it's like, who's doing it? Kanye?
Right. And that's what he said.
Okay, what he's doing. So that's kind of what he's trying to do because that's where it's going there. It's called transformational leadership.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Transformational leadership.
Well, that's the end of our segment, guys. We're going to take a pause, take a break, and we'll come back in a few minutes with Pastor James's segment. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Woo! Good job, guys. I love it. Love it. Love it.